SamitoD buying Mineplex and acquiring 100% ownership is the top anime plot twists of all times. Literally no one could have possibly seen this coming. This came out of nowhere. And Mineplex is no longer dead and is being revived as we speak. And honestly, this is a fantastic turn of events, because things from this point on can only get better. The worst that can happen is that SamitoD fails at whatever he's trying to do, and then we go back to Mineplex being dead. And then obviously anything else would benefit us, I think. But SamitoD is setting the expectations extremely high, and that's a bit of a risky move, because if he doesn't deliver what he is claiming he will deliver, then it could greatly backfire on him. And probably he's aware of this, and he's just very confident in his abilities to actually revive Mineplex. But sadly, we don't have much information to go off yet. We don't really know what changes will be made in the short term. Will they focus on making new features, or do they fix everything that's broken first? We don't really know exactly what direction they are going to take yet. But already SamitoD has announced that he'll be working hands-on. He'll be helping with designing games and so on, which I think is a good thing, because it kind of follows Chiz's footsteps. Chiz was the old Mineplex owner, and he greatly cared about the network, unlike the previous owners, which have completely abandoned the place to slowly die on its own. One interesting thing to note also is that social media is active again. Their Twitter account hadn't been touched for about 6 months, but they've now been active again. And same with the YouTube channel, which had been completely abandoned for 5 years, since 2018. And that's also updated the description. So that's kind of showing that they are focusing on marketing here. Possibly they want to make a big return at some point, and it's entirely possible that we won't be able to play on the server until this big return will actually happen, as opposed to more gradual changes, where they bring up the server immediately and then fix issues slowly over time, which of course to the existing community would be much more preferable, but we honestly don't know. Then there also might be some staff changes. All the staff ranks on the Mineplex Discord server have been just removed. There's now the manager rank, and that's it. There's no more mod and admin and whatever else they were. Whether this means that they are doing a complete staff reset, or whether it's just a short-term re-evaluation of staff roles, I don't really know. But it kind of wouldn't make sense to completely reset staff, because all the remaining staff members that were present when Mineplex shut down, they were there for very pure reasons, and so they would be the perfect staff to have around once Mineplex comes back up. Once the server does come back up, it'll be interesting to see how many players will come on, because obviously the Mineplex shutdown has generated a huge amount of media coverage. Right, we've had all sorts of big YouTube channels talking about it. Even Captain Sparkles, the man himself, has made a video about Mineplex, announcing that it has shut down. And so there are literally millions of eyes on the server right now. So if it comes back up, there's a good chance we'll get a huge surge of players. And if they do it right, then perhaps these players will actually stick around. And even if it's just a small percentage of these players that will stick around, it will still be probably a much higher player count than what we had in the final days of Mineplex, which was about, on average per day, less than 100. I think we were struggling to even surpass 200 concurrent players on weekends, so that's how bad things were going. But I think I'll leave it here for now, because we just don't have much information, and I kind of would have preferred if they didn't do any announcements until they gave us more information, because now it leaves the door open to speculation and just completely unbased, hopeful expectations. There's not much we can do at this point other than to trust SamitoD and his team, whoever that may be, to do the right thing, and then if it doesn't work out, we'll just go back to Mineplex being dead, and nothing has been lost. But of course, the one burning question that's on everyone's mind right now is how the hell did SamitoD manage to get in contact with the Mineplex owners? And even more importantly, how much did he pay to buy Mineplex? I really hope SamitoD addresses this as soon as possible.
No, it's not that like Mineplex was toxic. Like Mineplex, it had its problems for sure. There was some weird shit going on there. And it wasn't this like the debt. Like, dude, the staff team got so much shit for no reason, dude. Like
think they would've doomed
I was the
Franklin,
first
actually.
admin. I was the first admin to say, I don't give a fuck what you say. You're not baiting me. Sit down, shitter. And kids are like, that's not fair. And I said, I don't fucking care. And that's the kind of attitude that Mineplex needed. Like, all these kids were duping, like, tens of
Following up on
thousands,
your slams is
hundreds of
really-
thousands of
really
coins of
good.
gold.
I just have to rely on me not missing.
Oh, yeah, just don't miss, Fred. Like these kids were
Yeah.
duping all
Like, when
this
you find that
gold.
junk
I'd
rat,
go in
oh
their
my God,
chests.
you play
I'd find it all.
yeah.
They'd be like, we weren't duping. You can't pay me. I'd say, kid, fuck you. I know goddamn well what you're doing. You're not fooling anybody. Get the fuck out. And I'd ban their asses. They'd be like, corruption. I'd say, nah, you're just a little bitch. Like, the admins would come in the meeting and be like, so what did this kid do? And I'd be like, oh, yeah, here's the 10 million currency they duped. So I permabanned those shitters. And the admins were like, all right. And I'm like, fuck yeah. Absolutely. It's just fucking funny, bro. It was just funny. Like, I wish I could have stood up to all those shitters, dude. Like Rebel Guy was a fraud. That kid was a fraud. And the ownership told us we couldn't talk about it, and that was the biggest mistake. Like, we should have come out, guns blazing, like, this kid's an idiot. We told him if he'd do this shit again, we're gonna ban. Like, literally, I win the lobby, and I said, if you do this again, I don't care. I'm going to fucking ban you. And guess what? He did it again. So I banned his bitch ass, right? I'd do that shit again. X-Turtle, that fucking hacking bitch, right? What did I do, chat? He tried to hack on me, and I shit on him multiple times. I'm just fucking different. And this kid's like, holy shit, I just lost to SamitoD while hacking. Fucking yeah, because you're shit, and I'm fucking built diff. This is what actual skill looks like. Real skill, not that fake shit. Built different. Should have banned his ass and had his channel taken down.
This is going to be interesting.